Hello everyone, how are you doing? I believe this finds you well anywhere you are all over the world. Thank you so much for joining another interactive session. My name is Debola. I'm the lead pastor of Love Network Global Ministry. It's my pleasure to welcome you again to another life transforming session. Thank you for everyone that's been riding with us up until now. I want to say thank you so much. And of course, if you are joining us for the very first time, thank you. We appreciate you. Thank you so very much. All right then, so this happens every 6:30 Wednesday across all the social media platforms. So this is a good time for you to invite everybody that you know. So take the link just right there, below in the comment section and share with them, so that this could be a blessing to them. And there's another link. It will make you stay anonymous while you ask your questions, and so we can help as many people as possible. So take that anonymous link, ask the questions that's bothering you that you need answers to, and then because this is Illuminate, so our midweek interactive session where we give answers, we give clarity, healing from hurts, direction, and wisdom for practical living. You are welcome to another wonderful session. So right now, we just get right into each of the questions that we have that people have asked us. Can we go ahead, please? So can we take the first question?
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. This person is asking, sir, say, how can I stay physically active and maintain a healthy lifestyle in Nigeria?
How can I stay physically active and maintain a healthy lifestyle in Nigeria?
Sir.
Um, yeah, maintaining a healthy lifestyle in Nigeria could be a bit of a challenging endeavor, depending on the part of Nigeria you are in. So for me, I'm in Lagos, Nigeria. So there could be quite a number of activities, and there are cities like that too where have quite, high level activity. Cities such as Abuja, Port Harcourt, Ibadan, Abeokuta, what have you. So, but irrespective of what city you are in, they cut across for everybody where we are all trying to keep physically active, keep it physically fit while still, maintaining that healthy lifestyle despite the myriad of activities that we are going through. So I think the first thing to do is to have a goal. Have a goal. Sometimes that could be being ambiguous when you tell people, I want to have a healthy lifestyle. Have a goal. So what are you looking at? Some people want to, I want to cut down on my weight. So to say, I have this weight size as a goal. Some people is, oh, I want to eat more. I don't usually eat, and it's important for me. That kind of. Some people, I don't take, water, or I love carbonated drink and whatnot. So, but in all of this, it's important for you to start with setting a goal. Be clear. Some people say, oh, I want this body type or body shape. So be clear on all of that. Now, when it comes to, all of this goal, all of that, one other thing that would also help after setting a goal is to identify the things that you can inculcate in your day-to-day living. It's important. It's about that consistency. It's about inculcating them, rather, pardon me, into your daily lifestyle so that it's just a part and parcel of you and all. So now let's go further into just maybe picking one or two things, that could help us practically. So I will talk to, say, number one, practice when you go out, be a part of maybe active transportation. It has a tendency to help you, just exercise your body while you go ahead to do what you want to do. Sometimes, you don't necessarily have to, depending on where you're going, you could take a brisk walk. Maybe where you're going can take you about 5 or 10 minutes. You could, if you have, say, a bicycle, you could ride a bicycle. You could just take that walk rather than just always taking transportation. That can just help you exercise your body, allow your body, just go through that energy exercise right there, and your body, your heart is pumping blood and all of those type of things. So I think that is important. So another thing that you want to do is healthy food, healthy food. So you want to eat good balanced diet. I know sometimes this might differ for people to say, oh, that might be expensive and all. I think largely it's more about intentionality. So when you are intentional about what you eat, a bit of intentionality can change the game for you. I'm telling you, being intentional about what you eat, eating maybe vegetables, eating fruits, eating things that would enhance your body rather than just what you feel like eating. That's important. It's very important. Then another part I want to speak to is being hydrated. This one, I'm on this table. So generally, unlike some people, I don't just take water, for example. So what I do to help my body and to help me keep healthy and that is I try to keep, say, a bottle of water close to me so that as I have it close to me, I just take, a sip, and like that, before I know I finish each one, then I'm able to refill it and ensure that it stays with me. So that way you realize you're taking 4 bottles, 5 bottles, 6 bottles, 8 bottles in a day. And that really helps that way. So you want to stay hydrated. Also, medically, it is said that our body mass is about 60 to 70% of water. So that's important. It's really important for us to stay hydrated. For some of you, you are very, very fortunate, and and it's a good thing that naturally you like to take water. But most or some other people do not, are not in that place like me. So you must ensure that you factor that system into play that help you cater to that. Then another thing is exercise. Exercise. We can't overemphasize that. So be intentional about it. Take 15 minutes, 30 minutes in your day to intentionally exercise. If you feel that you are not able to get to it by yourself, maybe you want to join a gym, you want to be a part of, say, a fitness group. So that has a tendency to help you. So that way, your group can keep you accountable and get it going that way. But don't forget the second point we raised earlier, put it at the part of your lifestyle as your daily routine. It usually helps a whole lot. Then another part I want to speak to, and this might, you know, come and poke some faith people, is what I would say is I call medical checkup. Now, regular medical checkup. This for some faith people is, is like a no. Oh, I'm healed. Yes, we know you are healed. By stripes I have it all covered. But checking yourself is even a good way for you to really, really ascertain that yes, I'm healed. you know that kind of, yeah, you walk by faith and not by sight, but it helps you ascertain, and it can even help you know what you might need to use your faith for. And it is also proven that um, majority of people die from diseases, die from sicknesses because of they did not detect it early enough, and this attitude towards our health, can really, really affect that. It's proven over and over again that early detection of any disease or any sickness, gives you a higher level of chance of overcoming it, of getting, getting yourself saved from it and all of that. So I think that is really very important. So periodic checkup is recommended. You do maybe once a quarter. If that's not possible, maybe twice in a year. Well, definitely we're all majority of people, on this table where you don't want to just go. It's not the natural thing to do. In fact, one of our leaders, a medical, person, we say jokingly that a lot of people usually go to the hospital when they stretcher them in, or when they bring them in where things have really gone bad. So, but we don't have to get there. We can actually walk in, check ourselves up. It's not a lack of your faith. It's actually a proof of your faith, to check yourself and be able to do that. I think it's very, very, very important. So check yourself periodically, know your state, know how you are. The fact that you are walking around and you don't feel anything doesn't mean that you're completely fine medically. So just check it, and it's important. So check it. Now I would suggest to people again. Now the other extreme for people is anything they feel they check on Google. I think that might do you more harm than good. You're not a medical person, and before you know, you'll now be thinking is one symptom to something, and you'll be looking for it, and that can actually damage your self-esteem or damage your faith altogether and your conviction. So go to the appropriate, place. Go to a medical doctor, a certified medical doctor. Get yourself checked, and then know what that means for you, what you might need to cut down on, what you might need to take more of, and all of that. I think that is very, very important. So keep to that, and I think that would really help you. Now I understand that it could be challenging, but don't forget that it will really be extremely rewarding, particularly if you start all these things early enough in your life. You would elongate your life. That's the truth. You would increase your chances of living long and living healthy, because the hustle and bustle. The mistake some of us or some people are making is where they are going all out for that money, but they are not taking care of their health. So it's now seem like a trade-off. It doesn't have to be mutually exclusive. I take money and my health go for it, or I take health and I don't have money. No, they can work hand in hand. They can complement each other. And how can that happen? By intentionally paying attention to it. Pay attention to it. So sit down, if you're married, sit down with your spouse today. Speak about how better you want to improve your nutrition. If you're there as a single person, just think about, just take it. You might just even come up with it. Just take a paper, write each day of the week, and put it together. They say, okay, these are the things I want to take. Some people, you sometimes give some of these things process to. Some people are a bit hung up on maybe taking maybe things that are not very, very healthy. So you want to reduce it gradually. But when you check yourself and they tell you some kind of reports about some things, maybe, that might really get you to make that instant decision. But I hope this really helps. So don't forget, set goals, decide all of the things that are important that you need to do, and inculcate it at your part, at your daily living and all that. I believe if you do some of these things, it will really, really, and all rather, it will really, really help you. Thank you. Can we go right into the next question?
So, sir, this person is asking,
Hmm.
say, how can I expand my social circle in Lagos beyond my existing friends?
How can you expand your social circle beyond your existing friends? Okay, he said in Lagos. Okay, that could. So we just share principles that could work everywhere. So I think the first thing you want to look at. Beautiful question. Fantastic question. And that you want to look at is you want to expand your social circle. I would suggest that maybe it's look as in you look at it in terms of, is it just expanding social circle or building meaningful relationships? Because yeah, you can expand your social circle, but when it comes to relationship, it's important that you your objective and your goals are set, because relationships are very important and critical, and they could make or mar anyone. So it's important that you have that, because if you just talk about maybe your social circle, generally and all of that, just expanding that, we can begin to tell you, go to all the majority of social events, go to, fashion events, go to, sporting events or food events and all of that, you know, join a group, or, different kind of groups and all that. But I think it's more of the meaningful relationships that are important to maybe your life, your phase of life, and your the continuity, or maybe your career projection and all of that. So in view of that, so I would recommend that you look for places that kind of have your value system or your purpose, intact or aligned. So how do I mean? So for example, one place that you could have good relationship is, say, maybe your church. If you have a local assembly, be a part of the local assembly. That's a good place. Or connecting with, say, maybe an NGO, being a part of a cause that is bigger than you. So I think that is important. Then yeah, so the underlying factor is just define what you want, what purpose, are you trying to achieve with that? And that can begin to inform the relationships that you really need, and where you want to go, so that it's not just any and everywhere, all in the name of, say, just social and connect. Because when it comes to relationships, that we've said, it's not just about the quantity, it's about the quality of relationships. The quality of relationship would really help you go far, because gotten right can change the life of a man completely. It can amplify what you're already doing well at a smaller level. When you have the right network, like some people say that your net worth is your network, and also relationship can be very powerful. But it's not just about quantity, it's more about quality. So I think that's important for us to be able to know. So, and then when you're engaging people, again, don't force relationship. You have to be patient. Don't force relationship. Be patient with it. Some things, they need to run a course, before that happens. And then, like the Bible also says in Proverbs, that if a man that wants friends must also, position himself friendly, because there's a friend that sticks closer than even a brother. So you want genuine and good friends that would help your life, that will shape, the trajectory of your life in the way that it ought to go. So I think that's important. Another thing in relationship that helps a healthy relationship is um what I would say is define the relationship. What kind of relationship is this? Define it, and then let the boundaries also be established. Boundaries help to keep a healthy relationship. Don't place people where they are not. Some people, they are not what you think, or they are not on the place you are putting them. So don't put some people in the inner core of your relationship, where they don't even see themselves as that. You understand? So, and when it comes to relationship, think in terms of value. So the value that you are adding, the value that you are giving to them. When you interact with people, ensure that you are seeking to give more than you want to take from people. Because people would naturally, after a while, grow apart from a parasite. People that just want to take and collect, or what can I make of this and all. So understand that you need to be able to do that effectively, where you think of adding value when you come. So when there's that symbiotic relationship going on, then it sustains the relationship in a healthy manner. So don't forget, it's not just about the quantity, it's about the quality. And it's not just about, oh, you want to expand social, so I'm known everywhere. Except that promotes your, maybe you're in a showbiz, for example, or whatever that is. So, but it's key. Even at that, it's not just about, oh, everybody everywhere. They are key people, strategic relationships that you need to really aid you. So I hope this really helps you. That's very, very important. All right, then. So can we go to the next question?
Yeah, thank you very much, sir.
Yes, please.
So this person is asking, sir,
Hmm.
how do I handle conflict within my faith community?
Hmm. How do you handle conflict within your faith community?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I think before I begin to speak, let me just read a portion of scripture to answer that. So let's read Matthew 18. Matthew 18, when it comes to our faith, the faith community. Matthew 18. All right, so I'm going to read from verse Matthew 18 very quickly. Yes. Okay, Matthew 18. If you find yourself in that situation where you have an issue with somebody, so what should you do? So this is, let's read it from verse 15. So look at what the Bible says. Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against you, say, go and tell his fault between you and him alone. If he hear you, you have gained your brother. Say, but if he will not hear you, then take with you one or two more, that in the mouth of two or three witnesses every word may be established. He said, but if he shall neglect to hear them, take it to the church. But if he neglects to hear the church, he said, then let him, let it be unto him, let him be unto you as an heathen and a publican. He said, for verily I say unto you that whatsoever ye shall bind on earth and all of that, and heaven and now, I might not need to go into this, but when it comes to bind on earth and bind on heaven and all that, I think that this speaks more to conflict resolution than prayer. I know a lot of people use this for prayer, but I'm not going to get into that for this. When it's what the one thing is bound on earth, bound in heaven, and all of that. That's not the conversation for now. You can see the line of thought, that Jesus was saying here. It's more about dispute resolution, not prayer. When you agree, this. So you can see the amount of two or three witness and all. So whatever you bound on earth shall bound in heaven. I say unto you, two shall agree as touching a thing. We use that for prayer. Is it a line or but that is not, that's not the conversation for today. So we're back to what we are talking about. So when you are in that situation, so you see that. So this speaks to an humble perspective where you go to the person and you have a conversation with the person, in a honest and very, humble manner. So that's important. So if the person doesn't, then you can bring one or two other witness. Then after that, if the person also doesn't agree or maybe doesn't want to work with, within the ambit of what is right according to the scriptures, then you want to bring the church. See, after that, can as well as as good as classifying the person as an heathen and then a publican and all of that. So, but one would begin to look at it practically, so what that means in our engagement. So have an open conversation. So have a conversation with the person without judging them. So where we say, okay, let me listen actively to you and understand what position or what angle you are bringing. So that way it becomes easier for us to mediate, without confrontation, without conflict. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because the Bible promotes that we walk in love, we are compassionate to each other, and we prefer one another. The Bible says that this man should be in you as it was in Christ Jesus. Philippians 2, you see that in 4 and 5, First Corinthians 10, 24, that you prefer one another and all of that. So where you put other people, so you must put the person in a posture where the conversation should not attack the person. So we can address issue, we can address the circumstance without attacking the person. So I think that's important. So we can have conflict resolution in a way where I don't leave the person worse off. We can speak to the subject and not attacking the person or demeaning the person or making the person feel less than they are. So I think that's important when it comes to this. Even by that show of, kind action, your that can even speak more to the person than even the subject in question. So we must ensure that we maintain the part of love. We must walk in love and all of that. So you must just maintain that love and compassion right there. So lead by example, and sometimes, just give the person time. Time and patience also works. When you are patient, you give the person time, and then that can also just really helps that. So I get it. So sometimes, it can be challenging and all of that, but we must approach it in a manner where we want to gain a brother, gain a sister, and not lose them. You get, so we must engage it prayerfully. We must put in the necessary effort and all of that, with a forgiving heart understanding that people can have different viewpoints, and then and we don't have to attack their person. I hope this answers your question. All right, can we go to the next one, please?
Okay, thank you very much, sir.
Yes, please.
So this person is asking, sir,
Mm,
say, how do I address skepticism
mm,
or criticism from non-Christian friends?
mm. How do you address skepticism or a criticism from non-Christian friends? Okay, so like like you say, so they are non-Christian friends, and they are perhaps criticizing you, or they are skeptical about some things. One thing I would say to that is usually people criticize or they are skeptical about what they don't understand. Do you understand what I'm saying? What they don't understand. So more often than not, it's because they don't understand it, and that's why they are criticizing it. So what I can suggest is, let's engage in honest and in a healthy conversation, seeking to listen actively to them so that we can understand what they are criticizing, why they are criticizing it, what their viewpoint is about it. That way, it will really, really help, to respond accordingly. When it comes to, some of these things, usually, and like I tell people, when you hear something that you are not maybe familiar with, or you know you are not maybe comfortable with, or might just be new to you, let your predisposition be one of inquisitiveness than criticism. you know so when somebody is saying something, we can have a healthy conversation where we are not just trying to be defensive, but we are open to listen, to understand the viewpoint of the person, understanding that it's okay for people to have varying opinion, differing opinion and ideology. It's okay. It's fine. That's what makes life beautiful. The variety of life, it makes life beautiful. So it's important we do that. So which means when we're having conversation with people, don't let our predisposition be defensive and all that. We lose the entire conversation. In fact, the main objective will now be lost in that, because people have now begin to make it personal and all of that. So I think that is very important. So we do that. And now that it comes to non-believing friends, you can share your personal story and experience with them. You say, okay, no problem. I get your viewpoint. I understand where you're coming from, but this is my personal story. So that's why you must have unbelieving friends. I'm not saying you should have more unbelieving friends, but you must have unbelieving friends. And that's important even for me to mention, because some people feel, because I'm a Christian, I should not have, they come and quote, don't be equally yoked to unbelievers. you yeah, and all that. What does Christ has to do with Belial and all of that? If you don't have unbelieving friends, how do you want to win souls? How do you want to be that? Now, having unbelieving friends doesn't mean that they should be in your core circle, because at least your core circle should speak to your values. People that have your values, that you have similar values, similar, passion where you are going to aligns and all. So they can be your core. They don't have to be in the inner core, but you can have friends such that it's easier for you to reach out to them and minister the gospel to them, preach to them. So it's important. Jesus had friends that were unbelievers. He had a lot of them that they had to come and say, man, he said, this guy is a friend of publican. He's very, we suspect him. And I had to tell them, a physician, I mean, is the person that is healthy need no physician. So if you are healthy, you need no physician. The person that needs a physician, I need a doctor somewhere that's not healthy. So please, let me keep my, friend. So it's important that we have that. So, but then we should be able to have a conversation that is non-confrontational in terms of that will bring conflict, but in an honest, in a calm manner, and where we can, understand why are they criticizing this, why are they skeptical. First of all, it's usually because people don't understand why. I know. Then we should be able to have that going right there. So we must respect people's viewpoint, respect their opinion, and all. Then one thing that can also help is find a common ground. At least it be a common ground that brings them as your friend. So just have that common ground right there. Have the conversation with them, and then be patient. You can't expect that people just want to take your own viewpoint overnight. They too will say, take my own viewpoint too. So if you believe in what you have, do this prayerfully, intercede for them, take them up in prayer to God, pray deeply about it, trust God to touch them, because no man can change anybody. It takes the Holy Spirit to change any man. So I think once you engage some of these things that have been shared, I think that would really be good. Then as you lead by example, as they see your manner of living, they see your conversation, they see your lifestyle, that way, that would even communicate to them more than a lot of things that maybe you are saying. Because the Bible says in Matthew chapter 5, it said, let your light so shine before men that they will see your good works, then they will glorify your Father that is in heaven. So they see your life, and then they can begin to see that the hand of God is upon this person. So much so that in John chapter 3, Nicodemus came to Jesus by night. Say, Rabbi, we see that no man can do this thing except God be with him. They will be able to see your manner of life, they see your conduct, and that way, that can even begin to prick them, and they can begin to get convicted and want to know your God, come to know your Christ. So our lifestyle, lead by example, and all that. So yeah, so criticism and skepticism is unavoidable, because it has to do with people's viewpoints, people's understanding. So it's unavoidable, but how we respond is very important. So we must respond in love, with respect, with patience, understanding that everybody, um, might require some time to understand what it is and all that. But living by example will change the entire game. All right, thank you so much. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
thank you
will
very
take the
much,
next
sir.
question. Yes, please.
Say, okay, this person asking, sir.
Mm,
He say, how can I improve communication with my partner?
okay, how can I improve communication with my partner? This is a very good question. Hmm. So first of all, communication is the bedrock of relationships. Communication is the bedrock of relationship. So which makes it very critical and vital for us to have this conversation. I'm telling you, it's one of the reasons for a lot of broken relationships and broken marriages. Now, when it comes to communication, it's important for us to know that 7% of communication is verbal. Hmm. A whooping 93% is non-verbal. This is important for us to dwell on. 7% is verbal. A whooping 93% is non-verbal. So we hear people say, I told you, I told him, I told her, you didn't do this and all of that. Usually, yes, you said it, you meant well, but you had said a lot more other things than you have said. And that's important. So if 7% is verbal, it means I'm saying more than what I'm saying. 93% is saying a lot more. So of the 93%, 38% is tone of voice. Do you know how powerful that is? That tone of voice can change the meaning of what is said. That's something to really look out for. Tone of voice can change what is said. When I said, oh, I like you. When I say, I like you. I love you. I love you. Like, say it like you mean it. Have you heard that thing before? My parents say it, you don't mean it. You don't know that, because tone of voice, how you said it matters. And of the 93%, 55% of that is body language. My God, body language. So your posture, when you are saying what you are saying, it speaks more than what you say. Your tone of voice, when you are saying what you're saying, speaks more than what you're saying. So that's important. So when it comes to communication, we have to pay attention to some of these things. Your facial expression, your gesture, it speaks a lot to your partner, and that's what they are interpreting. So I think this is important. So one way we can correct this is we can have maybe a feedback, honest conversation with our partner. Okay, I want us to improve our communication. So let me start from myself. So what or how do I say what I say, or how do I do things that might not be communicating love, respect, honor, protection, security to you? What and what. Then if you have that kind of honest conversation, then your partner would at least I believe, they want the thing to work. It takes two to tango. It takes two to, two that are willing, to make a relationship work. So, but then I believe that the person too should be able to maybe give the feedback accordingly. And you can do it vice versa. And you can do it from time to time. Say, oh, okay, this is last 3 months and last 6 months. Oh, what can I improve? How can I improve? And all that. And, we get improving that way. So that feedback can really, really, really help. So another thing is listen to understand rather than listen to respond. Hey, this table, majority of us are there. So listen to understand and listen to respond. There's an act of listening. It's an art. You can learn it when you listen. Don't help the person interpret what they are not interpreting. Don't help them conclude a statement. Don't let them think this is what they want to say as against what they want to say. Listen to interpret what the person is saying. It's something that is very important, and it will make our relationships work. It will make our relationships work. That's how we can improve our communication within ourselves. So that is important. So we have that there. So I listen to understand. In fact, I haven't heard somebody, if you before you respond, one thing that can help you is to even tell the person first what you understand by what they are saying. So I do this a lot, particularly maybe in the office. I'm speaking to staff, speaking to somebody. I just said, okay, oh, can you tell me back what you understand by what I just said? So you can now be the person that even take that initiative to say, okay, oh babe, oh my wonderful husband, my wonderful wife, if I get you correctly, is this what you are saying? So that way, once you seek to understand, then you can now be in a better position to respond and address what they are saying. This is very important, though. Very important. This thing can change everything in a relationship. I'm telling you, it can improve it from whatever percent to it will skyrocket to a completely new level. That's very important. So just is this what I okay, if I get you correctly, okay. Sometimes you hear no, this is not what I mean. Because sometimes your partner is also improving their communication. So they might have stressed something, use the tone, use the body language that might have communicated something in a different way. That way. So when we have this, mutually beneficial relationship, mutual communication, where it's not one way, it's two way. Seeking to understand, seeking to help my partner, seeking to improve, then I think that would really, really help us. So active listening is very important. Then there's one other thing that I see when it comes to communication, particularly when you're trying to address a conflict or you're trying to talk about what your partner did that hurt you and all that. Try as much as possible in the statement to use the word I than you. This is important. This is what I've come to learn. To say that if you tell somebody that you hurt me, you did this, you did that and all of that, it comes like an attack on the person. But you can say the same thing in a different way to say, when this happened, I felt hurt. That way, it's taking the blame off your partner in some sense, like it's taking the attack off on them, but it's putting how you felt there on the table so that that can be addressed instead of the person feeling like you are attacking them. I hope this helps. So that instead of passing the feeling of blame to your partner, you are making them receive a better perspective of the situation. This is very, very important. So saying, oh, I feel hot when this happened. I feel like this when this happened. So use the word I than you. I think that would really, really help us very well. Then when it comes to this also, conflict resolution skills, learn it, develop it. Then patience. Patience, very important. Patience. Don't expect that your partner will change overnight because we just addressed an issue. You keep doing it and you keep doing it. Perhaps most of them have lived with that for 20 something years, almost 30 something years. So I want to really encourage that you give them that room, give people room to change, room to make the necessary adjustment. It's not just they are not mechanical human beings. They are not mechanical structure where you can just switch this and you just decode and code and no. You really have to give people that room. I think that is quite important. So yeah, And if you feel like this is getting to a point where we cannot make good sense of what we are doing, then please, you can seek professional help. Seek, speak to your accountable partner to help you. Sometimes, if we cannot understand each other, maybe I'm looking at it from here and it looks like 9. I'm looking at it from here, it looks like 6. So then we can say, okay, let's speak to our accountable partner where they can help us give a better perspective. Somebody respected, proven track record that we have both agreed beforehand, to help us. And I think that would really help. Then appreciate your partner a lot. Thank you for making the effort to understand me. Thank you for this that you do. Thank you for paying the children's school fees. Thank you for, for listening. Thank you for trying to make our relationship work to lead to marriage. Thank you. Of course, don't use it as a means to emotionally blackmail people, but genuinely mean it. Thank you. Thank you for making the effort. Thank you for pointing me to this. I never knew. Some people after they address on the, oh, sorry, even the sorry sound, and you just want to move on. Let the person know, I understand how you felt. I understand, oh, this really made you feel bad, and I'm making adjustments. Even let the person know your progress. I'm working on this, and it might take me a bit of time, but just know I'm working on it. That kind of can give the person some level of support, some level of, oh, okay, there's willingness to change. There's effort that other partner is putting in, and that can make a lot of difference right there. So it's possible. So we must just understand that we can achieve it by continuous effort. It's not as though we are seeking perfection. We are seeking improvement. We are seeking progress. Improvement and progress over perfection. Please, improvement, progress over perfection. And when you see it, commend it. Thank you for spending more time with me now. Thank you for taking time off work to spend time with us. Thank you for, sacrificing so much to put this happen. Thank you for all the hours you spend in the kitchen. Thank you for taking care of the baby. So all of those kind of things. Thank you for helping me carry the being outside. Thank you, for, just waking me and helping me understand that, oh, this is about to, just bringing my attention to that. All those things will make a lot of difference. Always remember that it's important to put your partner first. That way it will always help, because generally growing up, we are all, potentially, defensive or potentially selfish. So we need to learn that. And of course, it must be a reciprocated thing and all of that. Don't forget, whatever works is worked at. Any relationship you see that is working, people are working at it and all. All right, then. Thank you so very much. So trust is the foundation of any relationship. Trust. You want to make it work, ensure that you trust, your partner. Trust, effective communication will make any relationship work. Thank you so very much. I believe that's about all we can take for now, for today. Thank you for riding with us. I believe this really blessed you. So don't forget to share, to like, to subscribe, and press that notification bell so that we can, when time will come up, you can get to know. Also, as you like and you share, what happens is the algorithm help is spread everywhere, and more people can get to see it, and this can be a blessing to them. I believe this blessed you. Thank you so much. Thank you so very much. So don't forget the link, get the questions, put the questions right there. So we'll keep taking those questions and answering them week on week on our midweek interaction session like this. So till next time, I want to say thank you. God bless you. See you next week. Bye.